So I'm David Lyle, and I'm a resident, and I even pay my taxes. So that puts me in an extreme minority, I would think. Look, we are meeting next week, I think, to talk about the program at large, if you like. But to some extent, we're here specifically to talk about an issue that came up and occupied you for about 12 minutes last month, which was Earth Cafe and George Seville. But before I get on to that, I can't help but say that while you all see the Ambassador program as just a delight, we have a somewhat different point of view. I would suggest that we're less sure how rosy it all is, because what I believe is that the laws are laid down so that they set what you can and can't do in society, and within those laws you should be free. What you've mounted is an extrajudicial squad of green shirts who go around, who's, despite the language used, and when we do talk, I'd love to define aggressive, passive, hospitality for stores, because there's a lot of stuff in those statistics that are just shoved where you can get the budget. And so I think you really need to be a bit more specific about some of those who's getting what from the thing. But what I see is the green shirts are there to clear the streets of undesirables. Now, where they go is, if you can tell a nice story, terrific. But the main thing is to get them out. And I find that a little bit kind of scary. And it also, because it's your definition of what is undesirable, which again, I think can be questioned. And then I would suggest your definition of what is passive and aggressive, because I've seen passive and aggressive from the green shirts. That, they may be taking old ladies to homes, in their spare time, but what I see on the street is not pleasant behaviour. So we come down to George, Seville and Earth, and that's what I've been looking at for 5 years, so certainly in the last year, since August that we've been going on. And you guys spent a lot of time last meeting because you're frustrated that there's this sort of one holdout, that while things have worked quite well elsewhere, there's this one holdout. And so while acknowledging that Shalom and the Earth management people are delightful people, you considered bringing corporate pressure to bear, a shame list, trying to get the neighbours to gang up to bring Earth around to your point of view rather than their point of view. And I point out that Earth isn't some sort of hippy-dippy sort of let's all hug trees together. It's a very successful business. It has lots of people who come in there and pay far too much money for coffee every day. And this guy knows how to run a business. So while he is...
Excuse me, David. David, I'm sorry. So we're going to give you 6 minutes because there's two of you. So usually it's 3 minutes.
Okay, all right. My simple solution is, therefore, just let it go. Congratulate yourself on the fact that you're clearing out the parking lots and everything else. But here is a business and a person, George Seville, who are doing nothing against the law. What they're doing is against what you would like them to be doing. So I would just say, let that one go. Celebrate, as you have, how West Hollywood's numbers of homeless have gone up while yours have gone down, and just give it away. Maria, I'll hand it over to you, because you know George a lot more.